And I guess, yeah, I've known Lizzie for almost 3 years now, since our first year of uni. And first time I met her was assessment day for our course for the Bachelor of Accounting, where we had kind of group group activities and interviews, and we were on the same table. And I guess first impression was that she was pretty quiet and thoughtful because she was helping me the whole time. And probably the reason I got into my course. But yeah, I guess boy was I wrong, because she turned out to be one of the loudest people I've ever met in my entire life. I have this habit of like folding my speech when I talk. But yeah, I guess, I've never actually done a 21st speech by myself before, so you'll have to excuse me if I'm a little bit nervous. But yeah, I guess when Lizzie first asked me to do a speech for her, I didn't really know what to say because no one can really understand how her brain works. She's really weird. Yeah, I just don't get her sometimes. But so I guess in my confusion, I decided to go to the most trustworthy source imaginable in the history of the internet, Urban Dictionary. And according to Urban Dictionary, number 8, Lizzie is a very enthusiastic female with lots of friends. Everyone loves her and wants to be her. Never mess with a Lizzie. Sometimes gets down, but always seems to be able to give good advice. For example, man, that's a Lizzie. It brings me to the topic of my speech, 8 steps on how to be Elizabeth Tang. Step number 1, this may overlap a bit, by the way, so sorry, but step number 1 is to be extremely indecisive. The first step on how to be Elizabeth Tang is to be always extremely indecisive and never make a decision, forcing the other party to make the decision so you seem nice. For example, if someone asks you what you want to eat, don't just simply state what's on your mind, but continue to offer at least 10 different places so both you and the other person are even more confused than at the beginning. I've actually made a pie chart on the decision ratio between me and Elizabeth Tang so far. So for example's sake, let's make me the green colour and Lizzie the blue. So the first pie chart is when we're deciding where to eat. Oh look, it's all green. Now we'll move on to maybe what movie we'd like to watch. Oh, it's all green as well. Next slide is what subjects we do every semester, and every other relevant decision relevant to our everyday lives. It's pretty much me. So as you can see, Lizzie doesn't make very many decisions. Step number 2 is, which has already been mentioned before, is to develop an unhealthy fear of birds. To be Elizabeth Tang, you're not allowed within 20 meters of any species of bird, particularly the crow or the seagull. If you somehow find yourself in this absolutely disgusting situation, you must scream as loud as you can so that the bird will cower in fear and not attack you with its demon-like wings. You must not mention the words bird and cute in the same sentence. And if you see this bird with a pointy mohawk on his head, you must immediately say the words, "Oh my gosh, the bird is the ugliest thing ever." It comes to a situation where there is danger of these swooping beasts. Hide behind your nearest friend so that they will get hit instead. And remind them continuously that if the bird does swoop, they will get hit and you won't. So, step number 3 is... Oh, wait, sorry. I won. I searched up, as I said, Lizzie on Urban Dictionary, and there are a few interesting definitions, such as, apparently Lizzie means a slang, for a line of cocaine. It's so weird. A splendiferous creature that becomes a trail of pink glitter in its wake. That leaves, yeah. And I guess a person with a tendency to trip over things that no one else possibly could. But the most important one in the bottom right that I noticed was number 22, which is Lizzie is a common term for baby stealer. Which leads me to the third step of being Elizabeth Tang, which is to like boys. And you may ask, but Ben, what does liking boys have to do with stealing babies? Yes, it is true that to be Elizabeth Tang, you must like boys, but not just any boys. They must have crystal blue eyes, hair swaying to the right-hand side, and most importantly, be no older than the age of 6. Because those boys are too mature for your liking, so you like them fresh. To be Elizabeth Tang, you must be a total creep and take photos of little kiddies without asking their parents. And take pictures of their Dora the Explorer backpacks when they're not looking. For example. Apparently it made her day. So, step number 4 to be Elizabeth Tang is to be racially confused. You must constantly mention the word nigger multiple times in one sentence because you think you're black. If you have any tan friends, you must tell them that they're black, even if they're not actually black. And if they are, remind them that they're black as if they don't already know. Also, when asked what nationality you are, you must say that you're unsure, but you think you're a 1/4 Cantonese, 1/4 Vietnamese, and another 4 different nationalities you have never heard of. Suggestions include Herzegovinian and Latvian, but that's really up to you. You must also be confused about other races. I remember driving home one night from netball, and we pulled up at a red light, and this taxi driver pulled up beside us, and he was wearing a turban. And she starts laughing for some reason, and I'm like, she turns to me and she goes, "Hey Pen, is that a Jew?" No, Lizzie. Jews don't wear turbans. The next step to be more like Elizabeth Tang is to take at least 26 hours to reply to a message, and then once the other person has noticed that you haven't replied, proceed to then blame it on your phone/internet connection so that no one will ever know that you forgot. For example, internet isn't working. I swear I replied on my phone, but it never went through. Dodgy connection. My connection died halfway, but the internet connection isn't right. But I'm on it on my phone. Is your internet connection bad? My messages ain't sending. No phone net is the worst. Think connection keeps dying. It's pretty repetitive, so you get the kind of gist. As most of you know, I guess after making fun of her for most of my speech, I guess it wouldn't really be complete without telling you guys, what makes her such an amazing person and the reasons to why we've become so close over the years. As most of you know, Lizzie is happy literally all the time. And I think this is one of her most amazing gifts, is that no matter how crap a day you're having or whatever stuff is going on, as soon as you're around her, she makes you laugh and it just rubs off on you and makes you happy as well. But in order for one to truly become an Elizabeth Tang, being just happy isn't enough sometimes. You must master the ways of the lol. So right before you is the Lizzie Tang lol scale. So number 1, the lol in lowercase letters is only used by Lizzie as a filling word to make her sentences appear longer. For example, instead of saying, "My feet frell frozen," you would say, "My feet frell frozen lol." Because apparently it makes you smarter. The second on the lol scale is only used by Lizzie when she kind of finds something funny, but she's not sure if it's actually funny or whether she's weird. Lol may also be used when you're too lazy to use caps. From numbers 1 to 3, the main rule to go by is the more O's you get, the more she's laughing. So obviously if you hit the lol stage, you've done pretty well. And I guess the final number, 6 on the lol scale, more commonly known as the lols, it means you have broken Lizzie's happy scale and she has actually proceeded to actually let out a snort in public. Laughter scales have reached over 9,000. She also loves ha 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 ha, all in capital letters, and has also resulted in he 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 he, hoo 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 hoo, ho 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 ho, and lel. Sometimes I actually question my friendship with her. But jokes aside, because she's always so happy, she's always the first person I want to tell everything to. Because if it's something good, you'll know that she'll just be overly excited for you, making you feel even better. And if it's something not so good, I guess she always has this way of cheering you up and making things seem okay. So, step number 7 is that you have to be a really loyal friend. Let's face it, she can be a bit clumsy sometimes, but she's one of the most loyal people I've ever met. She never intends to do harm to people. She will never break a pinky promise. And whenever she says she'll do something for you, she'll do it. For example, there's been many times where she's promised to try a specific restaurant or watch a certain movie, and she'll literally refuse to eat at those places or watch that movie with other people. The last step on how to be Elizabeth Tang is to be honest. Now sometimes this can work both ways. She's called me fat countless times. She's told me when I'm being a jerk or when I've screwed up. But for example, today, you know, when I sent her a picture of what I was going to wear and I was wearing white jeans, she was like, no, just flat no, and she's just like, don't. But you know, this is one of the things I love most about her. It's that no matter what you ask her, you can always expect a straight answer. She gives advice from the bottom of her heart. She won't sugarcoat things, but will tell you straight up what things seem like. She's always genuine and true to herself. Exhibit A is definitely her desire not to drink alcohol. No matter how much peer pressure she's under, she'll never consume more than half a cider or a sip of beer. She's always the same person and hasn't changed one bit since the first time I met her. So I guess that kind of brings it to the end. I just want to thank Lizzie for just being an amazing friend over the years. You know, we've become really close, and I guess, you know, you're always the person that I want to tell everything to, and I just want to thank you for being an amazing friend, and looking forward to, I guess, many more years getting to know you even better. I guess at the end of my speech was Kelly. Is Kelly somewhere? Oh, yeah, because a lot of us have chipped in for a present, like quite a few of us, and I think Kelly, well, we decided we kind of wanted to present it to her at the end of all the speeches. So if Kelly's still there.
Yeah, you signed the thing.
Kelly's coming.
Make way.
Yeah, but I guess this is from, I think, probably 50 or 55 people have probably chipped in for this present. And first we'd like to present you this apparently amazing frame of the person you love the most. Which we've all signed. So that's Wu Chun, by the way, if you can. And we'd like to present to you on behalf of about 50 of us. You should open it. Yeah, you should open it. Yeah.
Don't drop it. I want someone to call out for a drink.
Alright, thank you guys for doing the speeches for me, and thank you guys all for coming tonight. How are you doing, Ben?